Hello, boys and girls. I have some stories to read to you today. I hope you enjoy them. This is Uncle Dick, and the first story that I have is The Day the Crayons Quit. One day in class, Duncan went to take out his crayons and found a stack of letters with his name on them. To Duncan. Hey Duncan, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than all of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. I even work on holidays. I have to color all the Santas at Christmas and all the hearts at Valentine's Day. I need a rest. Your overworked friend, Red Crayon. Dear Duncan, all right, listen. I love that I'm your favorite crayon for grapes, dragons, and wizards, hats, but it makes me crazy that so much of my gorgeous color goes outside the lines. If you don't start coloring inside the lines soon, I'm going to completely lose it. Your very neat friend, Purple Crayon. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It is not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies, while the only thing I get are turkey dinner, if I'm lucky, and wheat and lots of honest, and let's be honest, when was the last time you saw a kid excited about coloring wheat? Your beige friend, Beige Crayon. Duncan, Gray Crayon here. You're killing me. I know you love elephants and know that elephants are gray, and that's a lot of space to color in all by myself. And don't even get me started on your rhino, hippos, humpback whales. You know how tired I am after handling one of these things. Such big animals. Baby penguins are gray, you know. So are very tiny rocks, pebbles. How about one of those once in a while to give me a break? Your very tired friend, Gray Crayon. Dear Duncan, You color you color with me, but why most of the time I'm the same color as the page you are using me on, white. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. I'm not even in the rainbow. I'm only used to color snow or to fill in empty space between other things. And it leaves me feeling, well, empty. We need to talk. Your empty friend, White Crayon. Hi, Duncan. I hate being used to draw for the outline of things, things that are colored in by other colors, all of which think they're brighter than me. It's not fair when you use me to draw a nice beach ball and then fill in the colors of the ball with all the other crayons. How about a black beach ball sometime? Is that too much to ask? Your friend, Black Crayon. Dear Duncan, as Green Crayon, I am writing for two reasons. One is to say that I like my work loads of crocodiles, trees, dinosaurs, and frogs. I have no problems and wish to congratulate you on a very successful coloring things. Green can get so, let's see, green can, I'm sorry, I'm missing this word here. Green car get so far. The second reason I write is for my friends Yellow Crayon and Orange Crayon, who are no longer speaking to each other. Both crayons feel they should be the color of the sun. Please settle this soon because they're driving the rest of us crazy. Your happy friend, Green Crayon. Oh. Dear Duncan, boy, I can hardly read this one. I think I got to get closer to the light. This is about Yellow Crayon. Yellow Crayon here, I need you to tell Orange Crayon that I am the color of the sun. I would tell him, but we are no longer speaking, and I can prove I'm the color of the sun too. Last Tuesday, you used me as a color in the sun on your happy farm and coloring, on your happy farm coloring book. In case you've forgotten, it's on page 7. You can't miss me. I'm the shining dawn brilliantly on the field of yellow corn. Your pal and the true color of the sun, Yellow Crayon. And there's the picture they were talking about. Okay, here comes Orange Crayon. Dear Duncan, I see Yellow Crayon already talked to you, the big whiner. Anyway, could you please tell her Tattletale that he is not the color of the sun? I would, but we're no longer speaking. We both know I am clearly the color of the sun, because on Thursday you used me to color the sun on both the Monkey Island and the Meet the Zookeeper pages in your Day at the Zoo coloring book. Orange, you glad I'm here? Ha! Your pal and the real color of the sun, Orange Crayon. I'm going to turn on another light and see if I can see a little better. Just a minute. I'll be right back. Dear Duncan, it has been great being your favorite color this past year, and the year before, and the year before that. I have really enjoyed all these oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. But the bad news is that I am so short and stubby, I can't even see over the railing in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. Your very stubby friend, Blue Crayon. Dear Duncan, it's me, Peach Crayon. Why did you peel off my paper wrapping? Now I'm naked and too embarrassed to leave the crayon box. I can't even have any underwear. How would you like to go to school naked? I need some clothes. Help! Your naked friend, Peach Crayon. Duncan, there's all the letters from the crayons. Well, poor Duncan just wanted to color, and of course he wanted his crayons to be happy, and that gave him an idea. When Duncan showed his teacher his new picture, she gave him an A for coloring. And there's his picture. And an A for creativity. And that's called The Day That Crayons Quit. Next we have The Napping House by Audrey Wood and Don Wood Illustrators. The Napping House. And in that house there was a bed, a cozy bed, a napping bed, where everyone is sleeping. And on that bed there's a granny, a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in the napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that granny there is a child, a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. And on that child there is a dog, a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. See the picture? And on that dog there is a cat, a snoring cat, on a dozing dog, in a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Do you see everyone? And on that cat there is a mouse, a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, on a napping house, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. You see the mouse on top of the cat? Mm-hmm. And on that mouse there is a flea. Can it be a wakeful flea on a slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping? A wakeful flea who bites the mouse. Who scares the cat. Who claws the dog. Who thumps the child. You see that? Who bumps the granny. Who breaks the bed. In the napping house where no one now is sleeping. The end. This is a book, it's called Effie's Image. It says, this book belongs to Kenyon Kaysen and, Kiana Kaysen and Kadia. They loaned it to us. It's called Effie's Image. Here we go. The morning Effie Armstrong turned 82 years old, she pushed herself out of bed. She picked up a framed photograph and traced the image with her finger. "Effie," she said, "you're as lovely as ever." She's a lovely grandma. But when she stared at herself in the mirror, she knew it wasn't true. Her hair was no longer black and curly. Her skin was no longer silky and smooth, and her stooped back could not hold her body straight. "Those days are gone," she said, and Effie took herself back to bed. Effie moped around the house for so long that friends and neighbors began to worry. Then one day there was a knock at the door. Here comes a little girl. "Amanda James, what brings you here so early in the morning?" Effie asked. "I brought Boots over to keep you company while I'm at school." That kitty, Boots. Before Effie could say a word, the kitten jumped out to Amanda's arms. He disappeared under the sofa, and Amanda disappeared out the door. At 3 o'clock, Amanda was back. "Did you and Boots have a good time?" she asked. "No, we did not," Effie said. "He has scratched my piano. He has tangled my tatting. He has even helped himself to my bowl of ice cream." "That cat is nothing but a nuisance. Please take him home now." Uh-oh. "My dad needs some help down at the church," Amanda said the next time she came to visit. "I told him you would be perfect." So Effie put on her walking shoes and headed for the church. She scooted around in the soft blue rolling chair. She swapped recipes with the janitor. She watered the plants and shared secrets with the mailman. But then things started to go wrong. The copy machine jammed, the computer would not turn on, and the telephone with 10 buttons rang and rang. "This job is not for me," said Effie. "I'm going home." "Maybe you should go to school," said Amanda. "School?" said Effie. "Now, why would I want to go to school? Because it's fun. You get to read and write and draw pictures. You can even eat there." "Imagine that," Effie muttered. "An old lady like me at school. Who ever heard of such a crazy idea?" But the more she thought about it, the more she liked it. So the next morning, dressed in her best sweater and her fanciest tatted necklace, Effie met Amanda at the corner and walked with her to her school. After stopping in the office to say good morning, they headed for Amanda's classroom. "Welcome, Effie," said Mrs. Carter. "I hope you don't mind if I put you to work." "Of course not," said Effie. "That's why I'm here." Effie went to work immediately. She listened to stories, she played math games, she admired wiggly teeth and tied shoes. Before she knew it, it was time for lunch. "What's that I smell?" Effie asked. "Chicken soup, cinnamon rolls," Amanda said. "Good," said Effie. "I'm starved." Effie was on her second cinnamon roll when the third grade teacher saw her. She asked Effie to stay and listen to the stories her students had written. And just as Effie and Amanda were leaving, the fifth grade teacher caught her. He invited Effie back and the next day to watch a video his students had made. "Imagine that," Effie said. "Fifth graders making movies. I'll definitely be here for that." And she was. In fact, Effie walked to school with Amanda every day that week. Soon, 1 week became 2 weeks, and 2 weeks became a month, and some days she went home at noon, and some days she stayed the whole day. She played the piano, taught the teachers how to tap, and showed the students how to make homemade ice cream. They taught her how to run a copy machine, turn on a computer, and answer a telephone with 10 buttons. Before long, no one could remember a time when Effie wasn't a regular part of every school day. One day in May, the principal called everyone to the gym. "What's going on?" Effie called the cooks as she passed them in the hall. "This sounds important." "It is. You don't want to miss this." When all the students were seated on the floor, the principal began to speak. "I went a year. Oh, wait a minute. This year, a new friend joined our school community. She's not a student or a teacher, but every day she's here, helping in every way she can. Effie Armstrong, would you please come forward?" Effie looked around. Everyone was smiling. Amanda grabbed her hand. "Come on," she whispered. "They're waiting for you." Together they walked to the front of the room. The principal handed a wrapped package to Amanda. Amanda, in turn, handed it to Effie. Excuse me. "This is for you," she said, "because you made every day a great day at school." Effie opened the present and took out a framed photograph. In the picture, she was reading a book to the students in Miss Carter's classroom. Her back was softly bowed, her cheeks were wrinkled, and her gray hair was falling out of its bun. Effie traced the image with her finger. "Effie," she thought, "you're lovely. You're as lovely as ever." And when she stared at the sea of faces smiling back at her, she knew that it was true. And there's a picture when she was young and when she was old. And that's the end of our stories for today. So hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.